everybody, welcome back to Muse. I am speaking with Amber Nash. I am so excited to be speaking with you. I'm such a fan. First of all, I want to say congratulations, obviously, on your film, How to Ruin the Holidays. Now, this is coming out very, very soon for everybody to be able to indulge in. I would love to kick it off with basically giving you the floor, telling anything that you can without giving any spoilers away, a brief synopsis about what to expect, and a little bit about your character.
Yeah, so I play Michelle, and she's a struggling. Oh no, my phone. Sorry, let me silence my phone. Can we start over?
Yeah, you're fine. Go for it.
Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, here it is. It's right here. Sorry.
You're fine.
My God, classic. Okay. And like I usually just always have it on Do Not Disturb. I was waiting for a call and then I totally forgot about it. Okay.
That's okay. You're good. You can just take it from your answer and we can just kind of splice it together. You'll be good.
Great. So I play Michelle, who is a struggling comedian. She lives in LA. She's been in LA for a few years, hasn't been home for a few of those years for Christmas. She goes back for Christmas and the family is difficult, which we all can understand and relate to. And she's kind of worried, like, is the family falling apart? Can her dad take care of everything that he needs to take care of? She's also got a brother with special needs that's played by an actor with special needs, Luke Davis, who's amazing in the film. And so she's just trying to, like many of us, figure out what's the balance between life and career and family, and it's the holidays, and holy shit, everything's falling apart.
Perfectly said. That's what I gathered from the trailer. Everybody, this trailer for the film is so amazing. I was laughing, like tears coming out of my eyes from start to finish as I was watching it. What is it that drew you to this particular project? Was it the character? Was it the concept? Obviously, you're with a phenomenal cast of very talented people. As an actress, what drew you to this particular project?
Yeah, actually, I got really lucky. I'm one of the executive producers on the film, and it's written by my husband, Kevin Gillese. He wrote the role for me. And it was kind of, a project that we'd been wanting to make. And so I was in from the very, very beginning. Kevin knew that he wanted to write a story about having a brother with special needs, because he grew up with a brother with special needs named Mark. So the character's named after his brother. And when we met Luke, we were like, oh, and now we have the actor that could actually play this role. And so, I was in from the very beginning. I was so excited to do it. And the cast, I mean, like you said, is just like, it's comedy legends. Like, we're so lucky to have these people. And so it was really a dream come true to get to star in this film.
That's so phenomenal. I love the fact that you were able to really like collaborate at the end of the day. Now, were you able to kind of curate and, especially from an actor to an actor, it's really fun to be able to play that dream role. So were you able to kind of have any say or any 2 cents in this project and how the role came about? And were you able to be like, oh, I want her to do this, I want her to say that? Did you have any personal touches to make your dream come true?
Well, I mean, Kevin definitely was thinking about what what I can do as he was writing it for me. And this is not my choice, but one of the things that he and many of the people that I've worked with over the years and friends of mine think is the funniest thing is when I'm mad. And I'm like, that's the last thing you want people to think, because then they try to make you mad all the time because they think it's hilarious. So Kevin really wrote a lot of stuff where I'm irritated because he wanted to see me be irritated and mad because he thinks it's hilarious. I definitely, like, especially when we were shooting, there'd be things where I was like, okay, well, maybe I wouldn't say it totally like this. So like, can I say it more like this? And because we're all improvisers too, Arlen, the director, is an improviser, Kevin's an improviser. We all kind of get that and have the same language. So it was okay for me to be, and because I'm married to the writer, I was able to be like, hey, can I change this or that? Yeah.
That's funny. Well, that actually brings me to my next question. Now, I know obviously he wrote it and he came up with the entire concept, but was there any fraction of it? Did he say to a certain extent, like, okay, this scene, it's up to you guys, or did you have any creative freedom like that? Or was it pretty, I'm sure he's a phenomenal script writer as well, again, based on what you've seen from the trailer, but what did that look like from being, like you said, a group of improvisers?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, which I didn't realize until we started making stuff, is that to do improv on film is too expensive for people that have a small budget, because it takes too much time. You can't go back and get the same thing you got before because it's improvised. So a lot of it is like, for time and financial purposes, you have to do it the way, because he was also the producer. So he's like, you have to do it the way that I wrote it, just simply because we don't have any money. And I'm like, okay, well, if you say it that way. So we were really lucky because we had a script supervisor that was like, in the beginning, she didn't quite realize who she was working with, which are people like me that had never been in a film before in a starring role and were improvisers. And she'd be like, hey, so in the last scene, this is how you were eating your cereal. And I was like, oh my God, I've got to eat my cereal the same way every time. This is never going to work. And so she got hip to who she was dealing with. And she ended up being like very valuable for people like me that were like, oh God, I mean, how am I going to do it the same every time?
That is so funny. So you had a script supervisor, but she was also in charge of continuity at its finest, is what it sounds like. She was like, look.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh
we
my-
had a lot of people doing a lot of different jobs and wearing a lot of different hats, which happens on an indie film, obviously.
Yeah, but you know, that's the fun of it too. I feel like that's what really establishes the camaraderie. It's fun when you get to wear multiple hats, because clearly you're in an environment where you're down for that. And I feel like that's a really fun experience. That is so sweet of you sharing that anecdote with us. I want to say thank you for sharing that. That's really, really. Obviously, we are coming up on the holiday season. Do you have any particular holiday traditions that you most look forward to, or maybe don't look forward to, but you kind of have to do anyway? Is there anything that you'd like to share with our audience?
Yeah, one of the things I don't have kids, but I have a niece that was born when I was 15. So she was like, I basically grew up with her. And so when she was little, the thing that we would always do is that on Christmas Eve, I would spend the night at my sister's house so we could do Santa for her when she went to sleep.
Love it.
And before bed, we would bake cookies and decorate them. And then she came home from school with this bag. I think it must have been like kindergarten. And it was called reindeer food. And it was basically like oatmeal and glitter. And they were like, throw it on your roof so that you make sure that that Santa's reindeer will land on your roof. And so every, Christmas Eve, we'd be out there like trying to get reindeer food on the roof of my sister's house. So that's one of and we still make her do it. She's like 30 and she's like, do I really have to do this? And we're like, yes.
That's funny. Nothing like having a glass of spiked eggnog and then chucking the reindeer food up on the rooftop. Times have changed, but not that much. That is so funny. Well, I also wanted to ask you, I noticed on social media, I have to ask you about this because I need to know more information. You shared a post about Yalmark, and I was dying when I saw this. First of all, the name just got me. I think it's amazing. Also, I'm from the South, so like,
right.
It hit. But I would love for you to disclose any of the details surrounding this particular post and how your audience and our audience can come together and support, obviously, what is Yalmark. So I want to give you the floor.
So I've been doing improv for many, many years. That's how I met my husband. That's how I met Arlen. And at Dad's Garage years ago, I think it was like 2017, I was like, we should do an improvised Hallmark movie, like a Hallmark Christmas movie, because they're so formulaic, right? They're so like, everybody knows what's going to happen. And there's so many fun things to play with, So the crazy thing is there's other theaters that do improvised Hallmark movies. We're not the first theater to do it, but we are the first theater that actually has an actual script writer for Hallmark movies. So he's a playwright and an actor in Atlanta named Topher Payne. And I was like, I know a guy that actually writes Hallmark movies. So I reached out to Topher and I was like, would you want to do, because he wasn't an improviser at the time. I was like, would you want to do an improv show where you narrate like you're writing a script and then we do the improv for a Hallmark movie? And he's like, absolutely. And he dove in and like was able to completely improvise a full script with us improvising and him writing. And it is so much fun. So we've been doing it for years now. And this year we're doing it at Horizon Theater and we're doing a full run of it. And there's a big cast. It used to just be me and Kevin that would do it with Topher, but now we have a big cast that does it. And Kevin and I are going to be doing one at Dad's Garage on December 2nd. So it's so much fun. And we really do love the genre. So while we make fun of it, you can tell that we know it well and
right.
doing it out of love.
That is so funny. That's like a real life typist narrator improv game situation. That is hilarious. Oh my gosh. Well, that's so funny to everybody watching. Make sure that if you're able to, please go, please support, please attend. That is so funny. Well, Amber, you made my day. I want to say thank you so much for speaking with us. Obviously, congratulations on this amazing film. I'm so excited to be able to see the full thing. Like I mentioned, I've seen the trailer and was crying from start to finish of laughter. But again, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on everything that you're doing. And I hope we have the opportunity to speak again about your next project and to reconnect. I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was great talking to you.
You too.